So now what we want to do is limit the let me remove this, is deny access to somebody who isn't logged in. So to do that, we're going to use the user class. So in the user class here, we're going to create a function which we're going to ask, is the user logged in? So I'm just going to say public function, and I will call it is logged in. Very creative there. Okay, so is logged in. Are you logged in? Yes or no? So all we need to do now is just query the session. So I'm just going to say return false, just so we return false if all fails, then we return true if it works out. So I'm going to say if is set, okay, session, like that. If is set session user, like that. So if that is set, we know that you are logged in. So I can say is return true, like so. Now, sometimes somebody can hijack your session and just add that as a basic minimum. So it's always a good idea to actually confirm if this user is actually signed in, is actually a valid user in the database. Because it's very possible that, let's say you have this user that you want to deny access to, but then the user logs in, and while they're logged in, because their session is still running, and you go and revoke their access by deleting their account from the database itself. So now doing that won't change a thing, because the problem is the session data is still existing in their personal session. So if the only thing we're doing is checking if the session is set, then this person can be logged in for weeks or even months after we've deleted their account. So to avoid such a thing, it's better to check to make sure that their account actually exists before we do any of this. So we can copy from where we are reading from the database here. So I'm just going to copy all of this up to this point there, copy that, come down here so that we only give true if we are really sure this user actually exists. So I'm going to push everything back in like so. Now what we want is just to know whether the email exists. We don't really need to know about the password because we don't even have the password at this point inside the session. So I'll remove that. And then I will get this user thing here. I don't need to trim anything here. I'm just going to do that. User, what I'm looking for is the email, like so. So I want the email. I want to get this user by email. Okay. So here what I will do is say db, actually we have get by right here on this core thing. So I want to get by email here. Okay. So all I'm going to do, where is this? Where are you? Okay, login right there, right there, right there. So data is going to be equal to, and I will say this, and say get by email, like so. Now get by email does not exist, so it's going to go to the core and it will do its thing. But then let me put my email address here and wait. Oh, sorry, I'm editing the wrong place. Oh my god, I'm supposed to be in the is logged in. Oh, be careful there. So here I just want email, like so. Email is equal to that. Okay, great. Copy. And then data is equal to this. Get by email. And then put your email in there, like so. So if the data is an array, so once we do this get by email, it's going to run this call here, and then need to run the query and return the data if it exists. So is logged in is here. So I don't need all this. If this is true, all I need is that. Great. And then I don't need to check for the password. For as long as it exists, then I can just return true. I actually don't even need to do all this. I can just return true, like so. Okay, so return true. Remove this return true. Either we return true here or return false. Good. So is logged in inside the user class. So copy. Now all I need to do is go to the index page. So wherever the page is that I want to check if the user is logged in, what I need to do is just say user. Here we want to use the user class, so I'm just going to call this one answer is equal to user, and then I will say action, and then do is logged in, like so. That's all I need. And now what I want to do is do a var dump, because var dump shows me the data type as well. So var dump answer, like that, so that I know whether I'm logged in or not. So if I now refresh, it tells me I am not logged in. But then let's log in and see if it's going to say something else. So email and then password there. Okay, so now we have an issue. So undefined array key email. Okay, so this complaint is inside the user class. Okay, that's understood. Let's go back to the user class here. Oh, that's the issue here, right? I didn't actually save the email. What I saved was the ID. So not to worry, we just need to say user underscore ID, like so. And then instead of get by email, we just say get by ID. But unfortunately, this is a weak way to check for a user, because ID can be, the IDs are in sequence. So even though they lie about their ID, we could find it there. So what I'm going to do is instead use email, because that seems more secure. It has to be an actual existing email. So email, like so. Okay, great. So let's go back to email here as well. Like that. Okay, and here email as well. Okay, good. So let's test it again. Let me log out this time. Log in again. Password. Okay, great. So now it's saying Boolean false again. Okay. So why is it false? Get by email. So in order to test this, I'm just going to echo a few things here. So first I'll echo the email just to be sure that things are working out. So I can't see the echoing out there. So it didn't go through here. Okay. Which means this isn't set at all. So let me try and print readable this here. Let's come back here. Okay, so it actually does exist. And there's email. So what is going on then? If is set, let me come down here and put this in here. Let me refresh. Still running. Okay, that's good. But then why didn't I get the email here? Let me copy email, put it here, refresh. So I'm not getting email here. That is really strange. Oops, what have I done? Okay, there we go. Refresh. Oh, I see. So the email is empty in here. That's why. Okay, so the problem is not here. The problem must be here where we are supplying the email. And that's because we are giving it to an unknown entity here. So I'm just going to copy this, put it here, and then change that to email. Very easy to make these simple mistakes there. Okay, all right, great. So let's log out again, log in again. Password. Don't save. Okay, so now we are logged in, it's saying true. If I log out and go to the index page now, it's saying I'm not logged in. So all we need to do now is check if it's true or false and then redirect based on that. So if I go to my index page here, I can just say, let me come back here and say if not answer. So all I can just say here is answer is equal to this, and I just put an if statement here like so. If not, I'll put an exclamation mark. If not is logged in, then let's do a header location. Header location. We send you to the login page, login.php. And then make sure you say die. And that's because if you don't put this, somebody may disable redirecting and then they'll see your content even though you want it restricted. So just tell the script to stop executing at this point. So now if I refresh my home page, I'm taken to the login page. If I try to access it again, I'm just back to the login page. Unless I log in like this, then now I'm allowed to see the home page. Okay, great. I will see you in the next video.